I'm going to give you a little tip here that's going to help you anytime you're feeling that your mind is overthinking a problem, overthinking in such a way that you can't shut it off and it's bothering you because it becomes obsessive about needing to control something that you can't seem to be able to control. And you see, the feeling of not being able to control and needing to control is torn energy. It's incoherent energy. It's disharmonious energy. It's energy that makes you feel very tense, stressed if you want. And so the more I'm feeling this way, the more I tend to need to focus on the reason that is making me feel so incoherent, therefore so uncomfortable. I need to control the outside. I'm not able to, and therefore I'm obsessing about the need to change something outside of me that I can't seem to be able to change. And so my mind keeps thinking about it, and my neurocircuitry is rushing around the same circuits and is making me feel very uncomfortable. And therefore, there's some form of obsessiveness that ensues that is very unpleasant, and that is preventing me from seeing clearly. If I can't see clearly, therefore, I cannot find a solution to anything that I'm looking for a solution for. I need to find a solution. I can't find it. I'm feeling bad. And if I'm feeling bad, my vibrational frequency is below the frequency of the solution to the problem that I'm wanting to solve. In any case, let's just keep it to the fact that obsessing about something that I can't solve is unpleasant. Not only does it prevent me from finding the solution, it's also unpleasant and I can't seem to be able to stop it. So what do? Well, I'm going to give you a little tip, and I really suggest that you practice it, not because you need to practice it, but practice it for fun. Practice it because now that you have this tool, you're going to be able to use it and you're going to be able to play with it. I like to make this tip a playful tip. So your mind is active. Your thoughts are here. You can't seem to stop them. And what do? I suggest you close your eyes. You don't have to, but why don't you? You know, it costs nothing to close your eyes. It costs nothing. So you're seated, you close your eyes, and your mind is still racing around and obsessing about whatever you were obsessing about. Now, instead of identifying to your thoughts, try this. Look at your thoughts as a passive observer. In other words, instead of believing your thoughts and that those thoughts are you and you can't stop them because they are thinking you, see yourself thinking those thoughts. Look at those thoughts from an outside perspective. Look at the thought of this problem that you think needs to be solved. Look at it from the outside without needing to change anything. Observe the thought. Look at it. And here's what happens. As soon as you start looking at the thought from the outside without the need to change anything, first thing that happens is the lack of need makes you start to relax. Because now you're an observer. You're no longer in need to change something. You're just observing turmoil in the form of thought. You're observing it. It's like you're observing a storm. You are not the storm. You're just observing it. And it's pretty as you observe it. Are you trying when you observe a storm to make it stop? No, you just look at it. And so as you start looking at your thoughts with just the eyes of the observer, just looking at them, noticing that they are here. That's it. You can't resist the thoughts. You can't want to make them go away. You accept them and you look at them. Notice what happens. And you will notice that those thoughts will tend to weaken pretty quickly. As I start to look at my thoughts, noticing that they're here, noticing that they are in strong movement in my head, I just look at them and notice the movement. I notice the compulsive thoughts, and I notice without so many words, here come the compulsive thoughts. Here come the violent thoughts. Here come the thoughts that need to control. Here they come. I'm looking at them. There's a dynamic of neutrality that will weaken the thoughts. And suddenly you will find that your mind is starting to calm down. It's amazing how it works. Try it. It's very easy. So let's do it together. I'm standing, but I can do it standing. I'm going to close my eyes just because I suggest to close your eyes. You don't really have to. It just disconnects you from the material world, so it's easier. And then the thoughts will keep going because you were thinking about them. You can also do this exercise even if you're not obsessing by anything, just to practice. So you let your thoughts come, and they will. It could be the thought of, am I doing the exercise right? And so even this need to do the exercise right is, there's a need to control something. And so look at the thought of you needing to do the exercise right, and just look at it. Just look at it. And see what happens. For a moment, you will have a period of time, short period of time, with no thought. And then what's going to happen is that more thoughts are going to start coming back, which is normal. There was a momentum going on. You're still within an active thinking mind. So the thinking mind is still used to being active. So the thoughts will come back. And once you notice that a thought came back, just look at it. Notice the thought. You are not your thoughts, remember. Look at the thought of whatever. What am I going to do tomorrow, for example? I'm looking at the thought of what am I going to do tomorrow. I'm observing it. I'm allowing it to be. I don't need to change it. I don't need it to disappear. I'm just looking at it. And then, as soon as I get really neutral about it, as soon as I get really acceptant of its presence, I'm just looking at it, it will weaken and eventually disappear. Now it'll disappear for a little bit, and then it'll either come back or some other thought will come back. And you'll do that again. Oh, here comes a thought. Okay. I just look at it. I notice that thought. Noticing your thoughts, and the thought will weaken and disappear. But you're not doing it for the thought to weaken and disappear. You're doing it just because, let me watch it. It's okay to watch it. I allow the thought to be. Let me notice it. Let me notice the thought. Let me observe it a little bit, see how it moves. Let me observe it. I observe it, and the thought that was like this goes, no. Amazing, powerful, easy to do. You can do it anytime. And once you practice this exercise, as you get to practice it, it'll become easier. At first, you might have a tendency of needing to have things happen, and really it's a thing not to do. But hey, you learn with trying. You don't learn by listening to me and just keep listening to me. You can watch this video 10 times. If you haven't done the actual exercise, you will not really learn. My video here is about encouraging you to do it and explaining to you why it actually works. And what you'll have to is to not need it to work. Just try it for fun. I'm going to do this just to see what happens. This is the attitude. Not I'm going to try to do it. You don't try anything. I'm just going to notice the thoughts and look at them and see what happens. Amazing. It's very powerful. It's one of many, many, many techniques to quiet your mind. But this one is play with it. It's easy. I hope you like it. Thank you for listening. Please like, subscribe, press the bell button, and I see you in the next video.